No, 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 no. That's not what diversity is. Okay? It's about the thinking. What makes a Japanese man, when he thinks, when he behaves, different to an American man? So, quick announcement, by the way, I do developmental editing, and if you want me to edit your manuscript, you can send me an email at Gmail. You can find it in the channel description, and we can discuss the details. It's quite straightforward. You can also check the channel announcement video that I have uploaded. So that's going to be it. Let's go back to the video. Good day. How to write diversity, right? So the request was, does the story actually represent North African, right? That's, by the way, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco. Does it represent North African cultures well enough? Well, I'm Somali, so I am very close to those cultures. So does this story actually do a good job? It does an okay job, okay? It does an okay job. Specifically in terms of demonstrating how the characters are family-oriented, they are country-oriented, and they're collectivist. Because you see, much of the planet and all of North Africa, all of them, with no exception, I mean, there's really no nuance there, including East Africa, are all collectivist. Individualism is actually a very, very rare force on the planet. They are collectivist in terms of their behavior. That's very good, because the characters are representing their cultures, the kingdom. They are working toward that exactly. In fact, if you look at the last statement, this is for their country, you know, for their family, for their people. So you keep reading this story, right? He claimed his place between in Kaze thighs, stolen his chance to get a child of renown with her, because a shadow-blooded Welt dared to stand before the bearer of a moat, death mask, and insult him with mention of his own artist father. So this is honor-based society. Insult him. That is an honor-based thinking, which is a collectivist-based thinking. Salted Sumai's long festering wounds with the reminder of another queen who had spurned him for lesser man. Arms dead at his sides, Prince Imyan, just say Imyan, because even the author calls him, calls him Imyan, sat helplessly on his heels, weeping for his men, his friends, So again, this is good. It represents the collectivist thinking very well. But what could be wrong, and what certainly a lot of people get wrong, is if you're going to include North African, let's say for example Tunisian or Libyan or Egyptian folklore, this is where a lot of people fail, by actually not doing enough research about the different, the different how I would say, like the different stories that these people tell each other over the centuries. That is very important, Now, this story doesn't include that. It's quite clever, exactly. It doesn't include a lot of it. From what I know, in fact, it doesn't include any, yes, because fundamentally, it is a fantasy story on its own that uses North African, tradition, North African way of thinking, of talking, of, so on and so forth. Many people, when they write diverse stories, they fail in few ways, right? One way they fail miserably is actually very simply the thinking, the behavior of the characters. They think the diversity is just, hey, he dresses like a Chinese person, he dresses like a Japanese person. No, 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 no. That's not what diversity is. Okay? It's about the thinking. What makes a Japanese man, when he thinks, when he behaves, different to an American man? Okay? And you have to get that right. And so in the case of this story, actually they get it very right. The collectivist behavior of North Africans, the family-oriented, the all of that is actually captured. Yes, and it's an honor-based society. It's an honor-based society. So they also capture that very well. So I would say congratulations to the author. However, there is a problem. Now, this problem is not the diversity. It is the craft of the story, okay? It is the writing of the story. It is the writing of the story. Now, this writing is not ideal, specifically in one way. And I want to really talk about it for the next 5 minutes. What is it? It is how much prose, or how many descriptions is too much. Yes, the gray wood of the door shuddered, blowing puffs of dust that stuck to her sweat-coated brow. Her body jumped, jarred by the impact. Harika, or in Arabic, Harika, dug her sandals against the uneven stone floor, bracing the bolted door with her shoulder. Panicked breaths sucked in dry, curling plumes, making her shake with coughing. Now this, I would say, the description here is packed, okay? It is packed of adjectives. It is packed of these words that are attempting to describe the situation. Now it's very hectic because there are these dudes that are coming for this lady. So panicked breaths, sucked in dry, curling plumes, making her shake with coughing. Through the door, a coarse grunt, okay, burst, inches from her ear as the soldier's weight hit again. I would say it's really too dense. It's very dense because you see, every time you add a description, the reader has to absorb that description, okay? The reader has to absorb it. It is what it is, okay? And if you don't get too many of those before the reader is really just exhausted by it. So you have to use these descriptions very carefully. She squeezed her eyes shut, haunted by the snarling, bestial face on the dirty pauldron stamping itself into the dissected board. Okay, so snarling, bestial. Okay, bestial, snarling. Okay, this is a lot. I would say by the bestial face. It makes it a lot faster, a lot more forward, and there aren't that many descriptions. Real thunder. Okay, so thunder rumbled out ahead. Above, the roof's shivering clay. I mean, like, this is really a lot of descriptions. Tiles sent dust cascading. Okay, so in just one line, we have rumbled, shivering, cascading. Those are three major descriptions of the event that are happening in just one page, in one line, okay? A well of silent shadow. Well, shadows are always silent, so a well of shadow, even she had refused to explore. Anyways, the dry lightning storm hit, okay? Storm, dry. A lot of descriptions. It's very dense. It's really dense. And I remember when I opened this and I started reading it, it was truly difficult for me to just, pick the right information. It was so dense with descriptions, I just had to be like, So as you can also see, by the way, this is chapter 2, and the problem still persists. Prince Imyan couldn't breathe. It wasn't the jolt of mid-air arrest. It was the funnel of sand, debris spinning around him like a monstrous roaring throat. Like the monstrous and roaring are two, and they are really too much of them. Even if you come here, this is another transition. You come to Harika, you have here, as if the freezing desert night had suddenly fallen. The metal of Imyan's armor clicked and pinched. Two descriptions for the same action, for a similar action. Imyan's brow pinched fiercely. Okay, Imyan's brow pinched fiercely. Now look, it could be just pinched. Yes. Fiercely just distract. It adds too much weight. You go to the first part when this lady is getting caught, Harika, and you have here similar. So windows beckoned on either side, but Harika's lunge carried her through the room on an arrow straight path. Ozone laced, wind blasted. Okay, See, that's what I mean. Like it's a lot of description, right? I mean, it really is a lot of description. Set in her patched and tattered robes, cracking. So set in her patched first, then tattered, then cracking. So you have 1, 2, 3 in a clause. This is a clause. This is a segment of a sentence. Forcing her hands up. Beyond, the sky danced with lightning that never met the ground. Silver and purple and green iridescence leapt through the dry, wind-thrashed sky. Wind thrashed sky. Through the sky. I don't think there's a necessity for wind thrashed at all. I really don't think that there's a necessity for this. 100%. There's no necessity for that. You know, and then you have, of course, then as though sucking in its breath, the wind clapped, the shutters shut. So I think you can see the issue I'm trying to point at. There are too many descriptions. They distract from the story, 100%. They chase. Harika being chased. I don't think, look. I don't think it's helped by too much description, because fundamentally this is a hectic set scene. So you want to cut down on the descriptions, you want to cut down on the length of the sentence in order to speed up the pace, right? So this is important. So you speed up the pace during a fight scene, or so you can get the adrenaline or the energy going, right? The speed at which it goes. Then the story also reads much faster. So this is an editing technique, but this is, for instance, what is a good sentence? Yeah, if a lot of these sentences don't work, right? What is a good sentence? Well, this is a good sentence. Harika shoved and ran. Okay, she shoved and ran. It's very simple, and it gets the speed across. Yeah, exactly. In fact, it's quite counterintuitive. The more you describe in a hectic scene, the more you take away the hectic nature of it. Yes. So she shoved and ran. This is nice. This is very nice. It goes fast. Yes. So for instance, here, taking a look at this sentence, the dry lightning storm hit. You could just say the lightning storm hit. So this is the problem with the story. The characters are not a problem. The world itself, the world building is not a problem. There isn't there isn't any info dumping I came across that is badly positioned. Yes. And the diversity, which is why this has been sent to me, is actually quite good. Yes. But one thing that is not good, that is, I think, very bad, is actually the large number of descriptions. Yes. So this is going to be where I leave this. I hope that you took something from this video. Have a nice day. Bye.